now she know exactly who to call, man. All of my niggas ball, man. And R.I.P. to the kid, I'm rockin' ball, man. And I don't do handouts, I wanna rock palm, man.
While hiking deep in the Appalachian Mountains, this person came across something unsettling. In a quiet clearing surrounded by towering trees stood a strange structure, almost ritualistic. Curious, the hikers snapped a photo. But when they looked back at the image later, they noticed something they hadn't seen before. A dark figure standing in the trees, watching. The hikers swore no one was there. They had been completely alone, or so they thought. So who or what was watching them that day? Reddit user Individual Insect 722 got a Ring camera alert early one morning. Expecting maybe an animal, they checked the footage and saw this. A person fully dressed in white, wandering around their property. They had just moved to a remote area.
I definitely was putting the hammer down.
No foot traffic. Their house sits alone on a fenced hill, surrounded by a thick forest. They'd felt a little uneasy before, but this was something else entirely. So, who was out there, and how did they get onto the property? A Reddit user once shared what looked like a normal forest photo. Just dry leaves and twigs, nothing out of the ordinary. But look closer. Hidden in plain sight was a copperhead snake, perfectly camouflaged with its surroundings.
Now that's tough.
One wrong step, and that peaceful hike could have ended very differently. A man was camping in the Appalachian Mountains in his caravan when this happened. He noticed the door of his caravan opening and closing by itself. There was no wind, no storm, nothing that could have caused it. It seemed so deliberate, like something unseen was pushing it. The camper stayed inside in fear until it finally calmed down, then drove off. While exploring a remote cave deep in the Appalachian Mountains, Reddit user JTS4 experienced something truly chilling.
Bro, I'm actually getting scared,
At the time,
bro.
the cave felt unnaturally silent. Not even a drip of water, just pure stillness.
This nigga is cave.
But when he later reviewed his GoPro footage, he heard this.
The mud just broke off as I left.
Bro, cavers are nuts. Why are you doing this by yourself, gang?
A distant, blood-curdling scream. He hadn't heard a sound in person, yet the recording picked it up loud and clear.
Like, why are you
Although
ever
Reddit
doing this,
said
bro?
It sounded like something straight out of a horror film.
Sounds like a clicker. Who was that behind you? These nuts in your mouth.
Some
Fuck,
say
nigga.
it was a trapped animal, mountain lion, a hog, maybe a fox. But others think it sounded too human. So, what was screaming from the darkness? For 2 nights in a row, a family heard screams echoing through the forest. At first, they brushed it off, but then they heard it on the roof, and things got real.
Chance crashing out tonight. Nigga, I'm watching a scary video and Shawty gonna say, "What's that behind you?"
Oh, damn.
So I said, "These nuts!"
Holy shit. All right. Some bitch is one on the other side of the house.
Some whispered about skinwalkers, others said it might be a wild animal or even a mountain lion. But things got weirder. On the opposite side of the house,
What the hell
they
is
found
that?
an animal skeleton, without blood or any clear cause. Updates haven't been shared, leaving us all wondering. This photo was taken deep in the Appalachian Mountains. A solo hiker was making his way up a rocky trail when the mist began to roll in. He paused to snap a photo of the fog-covered ridge ahead. But later, while reviewing it, he noticed something chilling. A figure, barely visible, standing on the rocks in
Oh,
the
hell
distance.
nah.
The hiker swears no one was there at the time. The area was completely still. So who or what was standing
Bro,
in
that
the
could be
mist
easy
that
Photoshop
day?
though, bro.
Was someone
I'm not
following
sold.
him, or did he capture a shadow figure? In 2017, a hiker known as Mostly
This nigga need a
Harmless
haircut, bro.
began walking the Appalachian Trail from New York to Florida.
What?
He carried no ID, no phone, just a notebook full of handwritten code.
Like, gang, you're asking to go missing, bro. No ID, no phone.
Along the way, he introduced himself as Denim, or Mostly Harmless. He traveled alone, but people who met him described him as friendly, quiet, and strangely off the grid. Trail angels offered him food, water, even showers. He accepted with quiet gratitude. Then, in July 2018, 2 hikers discovered a tent deep in the Florida wilderness. Inside was a man's body, curled up in his sleeping bag. No signs of violence or struggle. His food had run out, and at just 83 pounds, his body showed signs of starvation.
83 pounds? Grown ass man, 83 pounds?
But since he carried no ID or phone, there was no way to trace him. For over 2 years, no one knew who he was. Despite clear photos, fingerprints, and hundreds of tips, he remained a mystery. It wasn't until 2021 that DNA testing finally revealed his identity: Vance Rodriguez, a tech worker from New York with a troubled past. Why he vanished into the woods is still unknown. But for many, he will always be remembered as Mostly Harmless. A woman who lives on a large, gated, fenced-off farm with no surrounding neighbors in the Appalachian Mountains recorded this creepy video.
Oh, fuck no. I'm going to bed. Hell nah, nigga. What the fuck am I watching, man? I'm going to bed, man. This shit don't even look real. Hell nah, man. Look at this shit, bro. Random people outside your window? Like this? Hell nah, man.
She says she doesn't think she knows these girls and that it's very unlikely for 2 girls to be around there at that time. Many believe these 2 aren't even human. They think they're skinwalkers, changing forms to lure you outside your home. Given the strangeness of anyone being around, the woman couldn't fully disagree. This man was out walking his dog through the woods when he stumbled across something bizarre. Tucked away in the underbrush was a small device, making strange sounds. At first, it just sounded like static, but then the pattern became clear. A voice speaking what a friend later identified as Mandarin. The whole thing felt off, and to this day, no one knows what it was or who placed it there. A person was staying in a cabin in the mountains when they were startled by something truly mind-baffling.
Ew, nigga. What the fuck is that?
At first glance, the footage seemed to show a spider crawling across a surface, but a closer look revealed something far more disturbing. The spider wasn't alive at all. It was under the control of a parasitic fungus called the cordyceps, the same fungus that inspired the infection in The Last of Us.
The Last of Us mentioned? Yo, that's crazy. That's insane, bro.
At all. It was under the control of a parasitic fungus called the cordyceps, the same fungus that inspired the infection in The Last of Us. Once the spores infect their host, they hijack the body and brain,
Yo, this
turning
is
the
nuts.
creature into a puppet. The fungus grows until it kills the host. And the eeriest part, the spider doesn't even realize it's being controlled, slowly dying as it moves. A girl doing a scream therapy session let out a loud shriek deep in the woods.
Idiot.
Then, this happened.
Nah, I feel like this video is about to scare me, bro. Fuck it. What
The
the?
man suddenly...
Bro, did this nigga's pants fall? Yo, come on, bro. This has to be a skit, bro. This has to be a skit. As she screams, this random runs out in front of her with toilet paper in his hands and his pants fall down. Come on, bro. This can't be real, gang.
appeared in the frame, startled and clearly in the middle of doing his business. The timing was perfect, and the panic way too real. While clearing out an old homeless encampment deep in the woods, Reddit user HollyWizzle311 came across something eerie. Among the scattered trash and broken belongings lay a weathered wooden cross, and attached to it, something that looked disturbingly like a piece of spine. No note, no context, no one around. Whatever the story was, it left more questions than answers. A woman living in the Appalachian Mountains was home alone when she recorded this video and shared it on TikTok. In the Appalachian Mountains, the rule is simple. If you hear it, you didn't. And that's not the only rule out here. If you hear a name being called in the woods, don't answer. Don't look out the window at night if you hear tapping. Never whistle after dark. Stay on the trail always. If something seems almost human, it isn't. Don't talk about it too much. Make sure you remember that next time you visit Appalachia.
The fuck is this, Bird Box?
In July 2008, a boy
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not watching any more of this video, bro. I'm starting to get scared, bro. I'm about to go to bed.